This is Paul. Yeah. So the thought is flamboyant, right? Is volunteers that are actual employees too, because they get paid to discuss each of the sexual experiences that need to happen. Yeah. So it's a kind of what's really an organization of women that have been in a parade or they have been in a parade, but they've been a princess or a queen, and they understand the femininity of being that type of individual. Because there's expectations about being a queen or a princess. But they themselves have to volunteer to give what needs to be the sequences of steps and positions and what needs to happen for the reprogramming of a population of persons that intelligence would say, well, they're too rainbow programmed, meaning their eyesight is not broad enough so as to see all the colors. They're prism programmed, right? So when I said, well, these four different types of women, right? There are some women that are responsive because of being black or African American. There are some women that are responsive because of being Hispanic or Latino. There's women that are responsive because of being white and blonde haired or black haired. So they give me the programming, but I'm actually getting it from them. There's a group every day that discusses all of the sex reprogramming and then what each of the volunteers and employees do. Now, it's it's kind of a business structure because you have to look at the individual. Some women say, well, I will do this, but I won't do that. And you have to respect that. So you're not going to ask them to have experiences that they don't want to have. Some women would say, well, I've done a lot. And that being known, you want to program that because that's what needs to happen. So as to reprogram that population of persons that are, well, that's kind of a stereotype, but let's say that they've had very hardcore thespian experiences, almost to the point that they thought that they were lesbian, but it was really a programmed thespianism. And they are actually heterosexuals, but they have an inordinate desire for the same sex. In fact, I was thinking about there is a programming that is of a big concern to me. I don't know of any animal in the animal kingdom that is actually homosexual except for human beings. Let's say you had television. There's what's called malicious, and it's a very angry type of TV. Then there's demented because it likes to torture human beings. I have a broken tooth in my mouth that's causing me pain, and I'm trying to jiggle it all day long so that it'll come out. I've heard that the pain that I experience is pleasure to some of those that are mutating, so that would be demented. It's demented to want to cause people pain so that you, the fish family, can experience pleasure. Pooh-ah. Then there's the reprogramming of those that get angry because they don't have the use of their subconscious mind. The opposite side is laughter when other people are angry. Then there's this thought of making two male deers have a homosexual experience. Now, for animals that are in the animal kingdom, if you try to twist to the extent that it's more than malicious because it's more than anger, and it's more than demented because it's more than pain. It's trying to take the sexuality of animals and make it homosexual when really it's heterosexual. Now let's say you had the brain of two elk, okay, and your two elk for whatever reason are programmed to be homosexual male elk. Now that would be that would take the flamboyancy of being a fairy homosexual, yes, 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 and twisting it so as to want to change the sexuality of the animal kingdom. Now, I'm kind of thinking that some in the fish family thought that they would make gay every animal. There are some animals two male bears out in the woods. One male bear comes up on him and says, "Well, I'm gonna have to have anal sex with you," and you're like, There are some animals that if they were actually violated in that way, it would cause such an erratic change in their minds that it would be worse than demented. It would be vexatious.